Well, there's the bonnet with the skin on. It's taken me all day to put the skin on and manage to attach it without a single weld. So I will weld the inside, the side edges. But I'm really pleased with that. There are, of course, a few little whoopsies here and there that will have to be dressed out with a bit of bog, but overall, that looks the part. Now, if I was able to roll it out, I'd probably be able to get a better long shot. But I can't, unfortunately, at the moment. But I am just utterly delighted by that. It looks the part. Of course, the coat of paint will cover a multitude of sins, and the bonnet now nicely matches the tailpiece. Who would have thought less than a week ago that bonnet was the roof of a Hyundai XL. Look at that view from the driver's position. That long nose and the nice shiny doovalaccy on the front. Isn't that cute? My back has been pretty crap lately, but I've managed to get some epoxy putty and fill up all of the cracks in this sort of 50-year-old steering wheel. Amazingly, just doing that made it much more rigid, and just needs a coat of some sort of epoxy paint over the rim and hub, and it'll look brand new again, or as near as I want it to look brand new. Also managed to get a gear knob, and all of a sudden it's starting to look like a car in here. Just thought I'd do a quick little video to show you what I've done so far. My brother's given me this cute fan out of a Kia truck. It happens to be just the right size to fit on the radiator. I know electric fans are a bit, well, out of the period, but this one fits perfectly and will do a very good job of keeping this little engine cool. I also have to do something different to mount the alternator. I can't actually make it work so that you move the alternator to adjust the fan belt, so I'm going to have an adjustable fan pulley. There's this little device here. It's also out of a Kia truck, and it will allow me to tension the belt while having the alternator in a fixed position. Also, how about these little beauties, hey? These are a pair of seats out of a Triumph Spitfire. Now, I think they really look the part in here. They look much better than the bench seat that I was showing everybody in my last video. They certainly look the part. I think I might make the backs work a little bit more upright so they can sit back a bit further, but they certainly look very, very much of the right period. Also, I've gone and tack welded the edges of the bonnet, and this entailed clamping them in, and then while they were clamped in, putting little tacks on it to make it nice and tight. They will of course have to be all ground back a bit, and then the bonnet will be just about ready for painting. I was going to try to use concealed hinges on this, but I don't think I can make that work, so I think I will have to just have a pair of hinges on the driver's side and then have it clamped down. There's no point in having a bonnet if you can't keep it closed, so at the moment I'm working on adapting this catch out of a Kia van bonnet to fit inside the engine bay of the Morris. To that end, I have welded in a couple of nuts into this piece of 40 by 40 RHS, and I'm going to have to section it because the mounting flanges are at an angle, so that I can then mount this piece of tube inside the engine bay at the same angle, so that this will then catch a catch piece on the bonnet itself. Elizabeth Park this morning. There we have the bracket tacked in place. Okay, as you can see, the alternator sort of is a pretty tight fit under the steering column. So I'm going to make a bracket that holds it at a fixed point. Then I'm going to need to have a different way of tensioning the fan belt. So, courtesy of my wonderful brother, I've got this belt tensioner off a Kia truck. This, once suitably placed, will allow me to tension the belt even though the alternator will not be adjustable. How's that for a neat little trick? But I have to mount it to the engine mount to get it in a suitable position. That's why I've welded on a little piece of 3mm steel here. Well, I should look down there if I can get it to focus. Oh dear. As you can see, the belt tensioner fits quite nicely into that little corner there. And once I've made a little bracket to hold up the other end of the alternator, which will likewise have to come off that engine mounting bracket, it should work perfectly well. And then instead of having to lever out the alternator and move it up and down, you'll just simply be able to loosen the lock nut on that idler pulley, and then just adjust the belt tension with a simple use of a 10mm spanner. Joy, oh joy, what bliss that will be. Well, I suppose this is going to be a bit of a mix-up of a video with bits and bobs, and well, I've been ill, so it's been a bit difficult for me to make much progress, but I do like to show off the Morris's party trick. Thanks to a nice little gas strut that I saved out of an old Barina, we're now able to work in the engine bay quite comfortably. You can see the fan. The alternator is now in place. I had to make this sort of boomerang shaped bracket to hold it in the right place. Of course, the adjuster that I showed you earlier is at the moment only tacked on. But once it's fully welded, it should be nice and solid. And well, there's the catch. It's sort of getting there. I'm going to have to do something about the back edge of this bonnet because I've got a rather unacceptable gap on this side. It's all up to ½ an inch in places, so I'll have to work on either the bonnet or the firewall. I'm not sure exactly which yet, but I'll think about that. Might be easier to work on the firewall just to sort of, oh no, the gap's all the way down the bottom there. You can't see, but yes, I have to work on that. Probably add something to the edge of the bonnet. And of course, I'm waiting to add a catch for the latch I've put on. One of my brothers has promised me the catch off the original Kia bonnet, and I'll have to, of course, make a suitable bracket. Once I've done that, well then it should be good to go. Well, the engine's been good to go for a while, but I haven't actually had the courage to whack a bit of petrol in it and hook up a couple of wires. Anyway, that will come eventually. Cheerio for now.